Okay, part two of our ice bath kind of tutorial. This part's about actually using an ice bath, and we're talking today about the chest freezer, but really these protocols apply to an ice bath, same kind of thing. So first thing of everything is safety. So obviously we're going to use an electrical item which is full of water, so common sense. Just unplug it. Temperature showing a moment on there is 2.6 degrees. Pull the plug out, so there's no power going through the freezer at all. Now, with an ice bath, whether it's a chest freezer or an actual ice bath, particularly if you've not done it before, you really need to have a buddy there with you, because the whole point of this is to promote a strong body reaction. And you may find initially you have a really strong reaction. So I really urge you to make sure someone's there. Medical things, if you've got heart issues, certainly if you're pregnant, don't do this. Any ongoing medical issues, I would suggest you speak to your GP first, just make sure he's happy to do this. And like anything, you start small. I'm not suggesting anybody goes out tomorrow, buys one of these, fills it with water and gets in at 1 degree. Start small, start with a shower, gradually increase the time, and move up from there. Okay, I've been doing this now for probably a couple of years, so this is much easier for me than the first time I did it. Having said that, every time I go to get in here, I can guarantee you I 100% do not want to do it. It's hard, it really is hard. So preparation is really key here, and what you'll find when you get into an ice bath, you'll have an overwhelming feeling to get out, because your body will go almost into shock. The reason it does that is because of this amazing thing on the back of your neck here called the vagal nerve, and that controls your central nervous system. And as soon as you get into that ice water, what's going to happen is your body is going to go into the sympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight, and it's going to tell you to get out of the ice bath. This is dangerous, get out. The only way to beat that really is to control your breathing and control your vagus nerve, and actually get yourself into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest. And the way to do that is through calm, controlled breathing, which is the complete opposite of what you're going to want to do when you get into there. So, preparation, before you get in, you need to calm everything down. So my recommendation is to do what I call 4 and 6 breathing. That's 4 seconds nasally through your diaphragm, so in, and then 6 seconds out, gradually letting the air out of your lungs and your diaphragm. Do that for, I'd say, if you're new to this, 5 minutes ideally. It's a beautiful sunny day today, so maybe sit in the sun and get yourself really calm before you get in there, because particularly initially it's quite intimidating getting into there. So if you're already like, oh, I don't want to do this, and then you get in, you'll just go straight into your sympathetic nervous system and you'll get straight out. Most people who do this, the first time they get in, within 30 seconds, they're like, get me out of here now. And that's just your body kind of taking over. So you need to control your mind, and your mind will control your body. Okay, so getting in is pretty simple. If you want to come over here, let's show you the inside, Kaz. Just got the rubber ducky. So temperature is showing actually just under 0 degrees. Lovely. So I'm going to get in. So the things that are going to be the hardest when you first get in are going to be your extremities, because the blood will actually retreat to your organs, to your central nervous system, and your hands and your feet are going to hurt. So what I do, and if you watch when I get in, I put my hands into a ball and actually tuck them behind my knees, and that sounds like I'll do nothing at all, but it actually keeps them quite warm. But the longer you stay in here, the more that pain is going to build up in your feet, in your hands. So that's the hardest thing to do, I think. So aside from that, I'm going to center myself. Now, this is the hardest bit. You've just got in, your body is undergoing a massive amount of shock. The key here is breath control. I will use nasal inhalation for a count of 4. And I'll breathe through pursed lips with the exhale. I'll make that exhale as long as I can. What that actually does is it causes you to generate some heat down in your abdominal muscles, and that actually works as like a little bit of a warming method. Now you'll notice I'm trying to get my back of my neck into the cold water. That's where my vagus nerve is, and that's the thing I really want to take control of. I'm trying to develop this thing called vagal tone. What that basically means is that I can withstand shock, whether it's heat, cold, or just life in general. If I can do that, I'm in control of my nervous system. If I'm in control of my nervous system, I'm in control of my reaction and how I deal with things. It's a very powerful thing, very powerful in here, and very powerful in life in general. In terms of timing, you know, when you first start doing this, you may find that 30 seconds is more than enough. I try and do a minimum of 5 minutes every day. For the purpose of this, you know, I'm just demonstrating, so I'll get out shortly. I think the research I've read is that somewhere around 5 to 10 minutes is optimum. And what you're trying to do ultimately, and there's a number of reasons for doing the ice bath, you're trying to get your adipose tissue, your brown fat, to mobilize, because we all have this inherent kind of genetic composition of brown fat in our bodies, but we don't really use it because, to be honest, we don't really get exposed to cold like this. But our brown fat is really from when we were babies, and it allows us to do something called thermogenesis, which essentially is our own central heating system. So we're trying to mobilize that, and it's been proven through research that the more you do this, the more you expose yourself to the cold, you know, the more you actually rebuild your brown fat stores, and that's really good for you in general. It's like your own little nuclear kind of power reactor inside your body. You know, it really is important. I love the ice, the cold water. I find it's very, very soothing, good for inflammation. Jiu-jitsu is very hard on the body, particularly at my age, and I find if I can do this after jiu-jitsu, certainly the next morning, I'm just not quite as sore. And like, you know, like I said before in the first video, this is just not easy. You know, your body wants you to get out of this thing, and in staying in here and demonstrating your resilience, I think is a really powerful kind of way to build, I guess, just your own kind of personal inner mental strength, and I think it just helps you cope with other stuff in life in general. So when you get out of here, now there's a couple of things you can do. The first thing you'll want to do is run to the nearest hot shower. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do. However, if you really want to maximize the benefits of this and utilize your brown fat better, is once you get out, you want to warm up naturally, not use an external heat, and actually use your body. So use your brown fat and use that kind of adipose tissue to warm yourself up, really make the best out of the thermogenesis. So I'm going to get out now. Be real careful when you get out, because particularly if you've been there for a while, the blood has gone to your central bits. So I'm going into the sun. A few different ways you can warm up. We like to do the Hindu squat, because we want to do is get the blood back into your extremities. So the Hindu squat, really very simple. You're just going to send your arms back, squat up. We're not going particularly fast, just using this just to send the blood back to the extremities and start to warm the body up. And I'll do that for a few minutes, you know, really you can do anything. Yeah, do a bit of shadow boxing. You just want to get moving, and it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but if you can avoid just wrapping yourself in a towel and trying to make yourself warm artificially, just let your body heat itself up. It's much easier on a day like this, and I think get the full benefits. There you go. Got any questions? Drop them in the comments. Thanks a lot. See ya.